Just make a note of that. That he's the party and I'm the pooper. Just make a note of that, will you?
Look at him though. Look at him already. We're talking positivity, and he's there. When we get beat up the Vans, I like all your scores.
What was that? What was that point? All those scores.
At our absolute worst defensive line, we stopped him. So I'll be surprised if we let him run a game with our improvements. We're winning this game.
Let's go, Mitch!
It's happening.
Oh, Mitch is bringing it.
We're winning this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, Seahawks and football fans everywhere, a very warm welcome back to the We Talk Seahawks podcast. I hope you're all doing well. Pre-season's done. The regular season is right here, and we are back with a couple of our flagship pods this week. This one, because I'm sure, I hope so, that you'll be listening to both of them. This one is going to be our game-by-game predictions. We're going to go game by game, obviously regular season only. That's pretty self-explanatory. So come the end of it, we'll have predicted the outcomes of each of the 17 games that the Seahawks will play. We'll get a record. Pez is making a handy note of them, as he always does, and we hope that he doesn't lose it over the course of the next 5-6 months.
It'll be on Twitter as proof.
It'll be on Twitter as proof there. It's on the Twitterverse. It can't be lost unless Elon shuts it down. So it's an interesting sort of view into our minds where we're thinking. It's always an interesting kind of, tempo setter. Where's everyone at? Where's our heads at? Are we getting carried away? Are we not? So it's an interesting look at what we're all thinking. Obviously, play along at home. Feel free to send in your predictions via Discord, Twitter, anything like that. We'll be sure to read them out week by week on the pod. If people are getting them right, if you get the prediction score-wise perfectly right, we'll definitely give you a shout-out as well. So get them into us through the season. But as you can tell, as I've already alluded to, Pez, Mr. Tallyman, how are you doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm excited. Football's
You're always
here.
excited.
I know. Positive Pez. I'm feeling it. He's coming back.
Yeah.
Mitch doesn't know about positive Pez yet.
I've seen it on the pods. Yeah, I've seen it on the pods. I know.
You've got to get involved, Mitch. Don't be a party pooper like James. Full positivity, regardless of what happens. We have full positivity. It doesn't matter if we just lost. That's it.
Just make a note of that as well, then, because after week one, if the Rams beat us, just make a note of that he's the party and I'm the pooper. Just make a note of that, will you?
Look at him, though. Look at him already. We're talking positivity, and he's there. When we get beat up the Vans.
No, I'm
started already.
Do you know what?
But anyway, I'm good. I'm excited. I've been watching hype videos. I've been watching James. If anyone
I hope
follows
you've
us,
not been watching me. You've got cameras in my room.
got a camera in your bedroom.
Yeah.
If anyone has seen on our YouTube, James has done, I reckon, the most elite hype video for the Seahawks you could come across. The ending. If you're thinking this is going on for a bit, the ending is the best. When the band of brothers kicks in. All-time greatest theme tune.
It is good. It is
to a series.
I really enjoyed it. I watched it the other day.
Give it a watch. I've been waiting for it on the Twitter. I'm going to put it this weekend when everyone's getting hyped and everyone's finished work and Twitter's going off. I'm going to pop that bad boy on there, sit back for however many minutes it is, and enjoy life.
Good lad. Do you know what? I can't wait. Every Christmas we watch Band of Brothers, and when it gets to Bastogne, where they're in the woods, we crack the windows open. We sit there in our shorts, and sit there freezing to death. It's brilliant. So yes, there's a little plug for Band of Brothers. Mitch, how are you, mate?
Yeah, very good. As we record this, we are on the eve of the first game of the season. Tonight will be Kansas City opening up their account this year. And I am going to stay up and I'm going to watch it, and I am looking forward to it. So I am hyped for football to be back.
Brilliant, isn't it? There's nothing like that first weekend of football season where we've waited for so long, and Scott Hansen's back. Everything is right with the world. The Seahawks are good again. Everything's right with the world. Well, are they going to be good again? We'll see what we're thinking tonight. We'll get straight into it. We're not going to waste anyone's time here. Pez, who are we playing first?
We are playing the Rams at home.
The Rams at home, week 1, divisional matchup to kick things off. Great way to open the season. Like I say, home opener as well, so Lumen Field will be bouncing. Can't wait. It's a reasonable kickoff time of about 9:30 our time as well, so it's a lovely, lovely Sunday evening in store. I am going to go straight off the bat and say this is a win. Tally that down, Pez. And for a bonus point, I will say we're going to win by 31 points to 17. I think it's not going to be a total blowout, but I think we'll win comfortably by a couple of scores. So as long as we can stop Cam Akers, as we talked about in the last Rookie Watch pod, when we were talking about sort of where the keys to the game are for our rookies and stuff, as long as we can stop Cam Akers and keep him quiet, I don't see any real threats on their offense without Cooper Kupp. So I'm confident we'll win by a couple of scores. So yeah, let's kick it off with a dub.
Okay, well, my prediction for that game is a win. I think it's going to be pretty heavy. I'm going to go with 37-13
like it.
as a win for us. I think we'll have a little bit too much for them. And Cooper Kupp being in there, not being in there, I think that's going to result in it not being particularly competitive, unfortunately. But I'm not going to complain at the time.
Oh no, we've been.
I didn't need a nail biter.
Yeah, we've been traumatized by him too many times. Don't complain. Don't feel sorry for him. Pez?
I'm going to say, obviously, we're going to win.
Of course.
And I like your all of your scores.
What was that? What was that, boys? All those scores.
Scores. Because I was looking at your scores, and I feel like I've got to say a number now because you two have both gone in heavy on prediction. So yeah. I'm going to say, this is it. I've got to tally it up in my brain. I'm like, does that even equate to what I'm trying to think of it? 28, 29, 31, 34. 34-10.
34-10. I like it. All confident, multiple score wins against the Rams in week 1. I like it. Confidence is setting in early. So, be no mathematician, but you can all see we're already 1-0 by all of us. So, Pez, who are we playing week 2?
We're at the Lions. And it is 6 p.m. time, our time. So it's a 10 a.m. East Coast game.
Well worked out. Yes, this was a bit of a humdinger last season. Was it like 45-30 or something?
45-43 or something.
45-43, yeah. It was an absolute humdinger. Nobody played defense other than Tariq Woolen with that pick 6 last season at Ford Field. So it's going to be interesting. Like I say, it's going to be interesting to see how the Lions do tonight against Kansas City, an early sighter for us as to what they're going to be looking like. Obviously, they've lost a few players on offense, Jamal Williams, DeAndre Swift, but they've gained a few players. It's a really interesting matchup. The Lions, they could be really bad this year. They could be a playoff team. I don't really know where to put them. So I think I'll say a win. I'll say a win. If they go out and beat the Chiefs tonight in Thursday Night Football, then I might regret saying that. But I feel that we are a better team than the Lions. Like I said, we proved it last year, and I think we've got better. I think we've improved more to our team than the Lions have to theirs, with all due respect at this moment in time. So I'll go win. It's not going to be a Rams 3 or 4 touchdown shutout sort of blowout win, in my opinion. So I'll say a fairly reasonably scored 24-21 to the Seahawks. Mitch?
24-21.
I've got us losing this game 22-19.
Ooh.
I think it was close last year. Both teams have invested well in the draft. The Detroit Lions seemed to take a draft class that was very ready to play. And I think they will be early in the season. I think they'll show us a much better team than last year, faster than we will. So I think they'll edge a narrow win over us this year. But I think it will be a better defensive display from both teams as well, which is why I'm going 22-19.
Interesting.
I really hope I'm wrong. I really want to be wrong.
We're going to win. That's just fact.
Oh, that's good.
We're going to win 28-21. and I'm being generous there. I think I'm taking the consensus of you two being a bit sceptical, but I'm not sceptical about that game. I think if James wants a Charbonnet game, him and Ken are going to destroy that team. Together, they are going to annihilate that team. Like, I understand what Mitch says. I just look at that team and I look at it and just think, meh. I honestly believe that they are the team. And I could look, like I said, beat the Chiefs, could look like a fucking dick. But I just think they're that team where everyone's rooting for them and they're going to fall flat on their face.
I hope so. I really hope so. I hope you're right.
Well, I genuinely am bullish about that. People are like, oh, the Lions, let's all be scared of them. Nah. Too much hype. They're that team this year who's just going to fall flat on their face.
Pez has waited all year for this for these pods. I could tell he's so fired. He's so fired up. I love it.
Football's back. I am fired up.
Right.
So, week 3, we are at home versus the Panthers.
We are indeed. Again, another game that very winnable on paper. Is it going to be a trap game? We know what the Seahawks can be like in these kind of games. We sort of, back up Colt McCoy's against the Cardinals all those years back where we just lose these trap games. But I'm going to heed and I'm going to feed off Pez's confidence. I'll say we go and win this game and go 3-0. If we want to be the team that we think we can be and we think we will be this season, Panthers at home is a game we can't drop. We know what it's like to lose against the Panthers at home and potentially cost you playoff seeding. Last year we did it last year. I don't think we repeat the same mistake twice. No, hang on, was it the Panthers that we lost to the Falcons, Saints? Was it the Panthers?
Yeah, the Panthers, yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
They ran all over us, didn't they?
Yeah, so I don't think we make that mistake twice. I don't think we underestimate them twice. Fool me once, all that kind of stuff. So I think we go 3-0. I think we beat them, and I don't think this one is going to be that close either. I'll say 37-17.
Yeah. I had a score in mind. We're certainly winning this game. We beat the Panthers. I think we put up 40. And I think we probably limit them to about 15. I'm going 40-15 in this game. I think this is one that we really get our mojo back. After a disappointment against the Lions, I think we can roar in back and put up 40 against the Panthers.
Like it. Pez?
We're going to win. We're going to win 31-17. We're going to destroy Bryce Young. I think what our defense is going to do to that poor lad is probably going to haunt his soul for the rest of the season.
I hope so.
That's nice of you.
I'm bullish. I think if there's a type of quarterback who Pete Carroll should be very, very well drilled on defending against, is a guy who he's had for 10 years, was it 10 years, 11 years, who he would watch every single week. Simple. If he can't game plan against someone like Bryce Young, you've got to kind of question him. That's why I think that defense, the defensive line, because the Panthers' O-line is horrendous and that we are going to break him.
Pez hates small quarterbacks. He absolutely hates small quarterbacks. Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, Bryce Young is his latest run, his latest victim. I love it. Pez, who are we playing week 4?
We are at the Giants.
This is our first tough game, in my opinion. This is our first L, in my opinion. I can't see us going 4-0. I can't see us going into MetLife and winning. If it's a big if Saquon Barkley's fit, I just can't see it. I think Daniel Jones is just about good enough to sort of, if you don't get pressure to him, to beat you. Like I said, they haven't really got any receivers, but there's something about this game that I just think, if I said it was a win, I'm being way too overconfident. So realistically, if we start the season 3-1 and lose to the Giants, I'll be happy. I'll be okay with that. So I'll say it's a loss, a close loss, because I don't think we're going to get blown out too many times this season. As of last season, I think we only lost pretty much 1-score games all the time. It's just what the Seahawks do. We don't lose by blowouts that often.
Should I say it is Monday Night Football as well?
It's Monday Night Football, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
Monday Night Football.
don't feel it. I don't feel it. So I'll say 24 to 14 Giants. Mitch?
This one's a win, and it's 28-22.
Thank you.
And I think they get their points to make it look close in garbage time as well.
20 what? Sorry.
28-22.
Yep.
28-22, and I think it's a little bit less close than that looks. I think they score late in that one to make it look a bit better.
It's a win because I've said it all pre-season. Them first 4 games, there is no reason in my mind, with the roster we've got, with what I've seen in pre-season, why we shouldn't be 4-0 going into that bye. Do you know? And I'll give you a little stat, James, to make you feel bad about yourself and about going into MetLife. You have a really good record in MetLife. Yep. Since 2011, 13 and 17 are the 3 times we've played in MetLife. Well, we've played more if you want to go 2002 and 2008, but from when Pete was here, we haven't lost in MetLife, including the Super Bowl. We haven't lost, and the scores were 36-25, 23-0, 24-7, and we love to keep teams to one score, to single digits, should I say, in MetLife. Don't get me wrong, I do think the Giants could be a good team.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest issue with the Giants is all their receiving core and their superstar tight end, who could be the biggest issue, are all injury prone to fuck. They might as well turn MetLife into a hospital by the time all them lot are on the IR by the time they play us. And I'm this bullish because I think this defense is going to surprise everyone. So when people listen to the Hot Takes episode, do not be surprised with my take on this defense. But 4-0 by the bye.
Quick extra little thing to throw in there. We mentioned Saquon Barkley. In our season last year, where we couldn't stop a run, how many yards did we let Saquon Barkley have last year? Less than 30, I think. It was 27 yards.
Oh.
At our absolute worst defensive line, we stopped him. So I'll be surprised if we let him run a game with our improvements. I mean, I'll cry. I'll cry if we did.
That.
Okay, I take all your points. That's fine. So we're playing week 5, Pez.
We're by week 5, so we have a nice.
We'll have
a nice rest, and then we go straight into at the Bengals.
Yes, that's another tough game. That is another L, in my opinion. Look, I'm trying to be realistic. I would love to say we'll go 5-0, 4-0, blah blah blah. But back to back, I know you've got a bye week in between. But I don't know off the top of my head, but I'd like to find out our record coming off bye weeks. It doesn't feel like it's great to me. I might be wrong. But back-to-back away games, Giants and then Bengals, that's...
Sorry, do you want your record so far?
I'll take my record so far. It's 4-1, isn't
it? I'll quickly run through them. By the bye week, you and Mitch have got us 3-1 and I'm 4-0.
3-1. Well,
it's maths but...
Not hard maths, but we're not great at anything. Board 2, I can't see us going into Cincinnati against Joe Burrow and all those receivers. No matter how good our defense is and how good Pez thinks it is, I think they've just got things to counter it. And it's if we go and beat the Bengals in Cincinnati, I don't care what you say, we're Super Bowl contenders. So I really hope we go and win it. But I think I just can't see it. So this is probably the highest scoring defeat we'll suffer this season, in my opinion. And I'll say we will lose 34-24. Mitch?
We're winning this game.
Let's go, Mitch!
It's happening.
Oh, Mitch is bringing it. I love
We're winning this one. 22-14. 22-14 win.
14. We're holding the Bengals.
We're holding them to 14. We're holding them to 14.
Let's go.
I so hope you're right, Mitch. But carry
The
on.
games, and there is a reasoning for this, right? There is a reasoning for this. I know they've got Joe Mixon, so that it's not like they're relying on through the air.
Funny enough, I'm not that worried about Mixon.
Well, this is it, right? So last year we got sliced and diced when teams successfully ran the ball on us. This year, I think we will be better in that department, and we'll see a lot more teams go through the air. If they don't go through the air and prioritise running the ball, it plays massively into our hands because they'll be stopping getting the ball into the hands of their best players. And I think as soon as you start launching balls around our DBs, you bring us right into the game. Yes, it's their strongest part of their roster, but it pitches their strongest part against our strongest part, and I think they'll take us for granted. We'll win in that game.
He's nearly reeled me back in there, Pez. Go on, chop it off.
Stick a dub in there for me.
I am doing. Do you know why? Because in the Pete Carroll era, someone can fact check me and call me out on this, but I'm pretty sure in the Pete Carroll era, after the bye week, we are 7-3.
Nice.
Wow. Okay.
And
we
love going to the East Coast and playing a 10 a.m. game.
And we like Monday.
Also, do you know another reason why I think we get successful in this game is because this is going to be a stamp it game to show why Tariq Woolen shouldn't be overlooked as much as he got overlooked last year, because that Jamar Chase, nothing. This is going to be the first, and I'll say it now. Remember when Sherm was at his peak and he used to follow the best receiver around the field? No matter, this is going to be the first game where Pete Carroll's going to truly trust Tariq, and he's going to follow Chase wherever Chase goes, and he's going to play that position, and he's going to put him in a box. And that is why we win this game, because we're going to take out his weapon. Is Joe Burrow going to be fit? Is he fit now? Is he going to be good? Is he going to be a bit banged up? But
I've seen it before as well. When you pop a calf, you tend to pop the other one as well. It's like tread on your car tyres. One calf injury tends to result in another calf injury on the other side as well.
And another thing is our offense versus their defense. Has their defense got any better?
No.
They just seem to manage to make it happen. So you stop their offense, their defense isn't stopping what we can bring to that field, in my opinion. We stop them, they follow my plan. I don't think they can stop us. We've got too much weapons, we've got too much firepower. And I'm going to go around 21. Don't get me wrong, we're not going to blow them out. It's going to be a nail biter. My brother's going to be in the Discord fucking losing his mind every 10 seconds. Like, it's going to be one of them games. But I just think it's going to be 21-17. Can be squeaky bum. It can be the last minute. I don't give a shit if we played it was ugliest game we've ever played in our lives. We are leaving there with a win.
James thinks he's the only one with a point in that column. And I think the stat sheets and the experts would agree with him. But I do think we've got a better shot in that one than people give us credit for.
Yeah, I think, like say, you might have handed me a gift in terms of who wins the competition at the end of it with tip. But yeah, I'll happily be proven wrong. I'll forfeit my point if we go and beat the Bengals. So I'm happy. Pez, who have we got next?
We are at home against the Cardinals.
I don't think we need to spend too fucking long on this one. This is about as easy as a win as it gets. The LJ Collier Derby. I think we absolutely batter them. This is the game I expect us to put 40 on them. It shouldn't be close. If it is close, I think it'll feel like a loss even if we win. So I think we drop 40 on them. I say 41-20.
41-20.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mitch?
38-10 win for me.
Love it.
Similar thoughts to you, but a bit better for us defensively against what they've got.
Mm-hmm. How do I work it out? Was it 28?
So just do your adding up. That's it.
35. 35-7.
35-7, a one score. I like it. I like it. I like it. The only reason I said 20 is because I think they'll score some garbage time points where we've got backups out. Realistically, it won't look like a 20-point game that the Cardinals will put on. So no, I'm happy with that. Pez, who's next? Have we got a serious opponent again, or
we are at home against the Browns?
home against the Browns again? Not as easy as the Cardinals. Again, a game that the Browns could be anything this year. It's. I don't want to root for Deshaun Watson, but he might be a better player this season. We don't know what he's going to look like if he has a bounce back year. That Browns offense has got weapons on it. Let's be real. The D line is real. We know it's all real with Myles Garrett and Malik McDowell, Mr. ATV himself on there. They've got a strong depth chart when you look at it back to front. And if Deshaun Watson does have a better year this year, which he's probably inclined to do, I think that could be a bit of a trap game, bit of a close game. I think we'll edge it because we're at home. I think if it was in Cleveland, then I'd be probably saying a loss, but I think we'll edge it. One score. Well, do you know what? No, probably not even one score. I think this will probably be like a field goal game. So I think with their defense being as strong as it is, I think it's going to be a low scoring defensive game, 17-14 Seahawks. Mitch?
Nice.
I'm going win here. I think we'll put up 28, maybe 28-24. I think 28-24. Close game. I think we're going to have some difficult matchups with stopping the run in other games, but I think that Chubb matchup is potentially a scary one for us. I mean, if we come through that and we bottle him up, I think we see real improvement. But he's a hell of a runner, and that could make this a close game. 28.
Yeah.
20.
We
Pez?
win.
We win 28.
And it could be a close game, but the one thing about this game why I think it's not going to be as close as you think is because the whole team's going to be so juiced up. Because it's the 10-year anniversary of the Super Bowl win. So all that team is in the stadium. Probably not Ross because he's still playing. Bobby's playing. But all the other players are in the stadium. Getting remembered. Like, big night. You're going to have, like, the LOB back. There's going to be people on that defense who are going to want to show out because they're there. I don't know if it's going to be as tentative as you two think. But like I said, if we can't stop Nick Chubb, if we have the run issues like we did last year, it could open us up. So I'm not going to give a score prediction on that one.
No, that's fair. It's a really close one to call. Pez, who are we playing next?
We are at the Ravens.
Now, do you know what? I think we win this fairly comfortably. I think by this point, like you were putting question marks out about other quarterbacks, whether they'll be healthy by this point. I'll put a big question mark on whether Lamar will be healthy by this point. We all know about Lamar's incapability of playing a full season. But they haven't got a receiving room. Yes, they've got Mark Andrews, but I would like to think we'd do a decent enough job at shutting down one receiving option, really. And running backs wise, again, J.K. Dobbins coming off a massive injury. Is he going to be healthy this year? How is he going to look? I don't particularly rate the defense. I think that their cornerback room is pretty much as bad as it gets in the NFL, in my opinion, with Baltimore. I don't see how all of our receivers, if they're all fit at that moment in time, get sort of shut down by their corners or their defensive backs at all. So I think we might run riot on them. I really do. And it'll be one of those games which looks tough on paper, but realistically, the Ravens, you see the Ravens, you think Ravens away, that's tough, but I don't think the Ravens are a serious team at all this year. So I say we go and put up 27 to 11 Seahawks. Mitch?
I think this one turns into a bit of a shootout. I think the wide receiver room they've got is good, and I think Lamar Jackson has got. I mean, what is it? Flowers, Odell Beckham, Rashad Bateman.
I'm just not sold on it. I'm not sold on OBJ. I'm not sold on Bateman. Flowers maybe, but he's a rookie.
It's just got talent in it, and it's probably the most talented wide receiver group that we've seen Lamar have.
That doesn't say a lot.
Does it? No, it doesn't. I hear your concerns on their defence. I think that's why I think it will become a bit of a shootout. I can see it being a high-scoring loss, maybe 31-28, close one, but a high-scoring shootout loss.
Okay, interesting. Pez, what are your thoughts on this one?
I think we dropped this one because we're away from home. I don't know. My thinking and my logic behind it is when Lamar had that like really good start to his career, what was the one thing he always was complaining about? I have no receivers. He didn't. He had Hollywood Brown and Mark Andrews, and then the same year he complained that he needed more weapons. They traded Hollywood Brown and left him with no one. Now he has got like. I sneakily have a feeling that OBJ is going to surprise a lot of people if he can stay healthy. Zay Flowers is a dangerous weapon, and Bateman is dangerous. But again, it's like you said, it is hard because we're into week 9, is it? So it is. If they can stay healthy, is a massive thing. I just think away from home. I look at that offense and I'm exactly the same as Mitch when he said it. I smiled because I thought exactly the same. It'll turn into an ugly shootout where it's just no defense can stop anything. And 28-24, I said.
Wow. I thought you were going to go with me.
I'll just put a disclaimer here. Like I look at mine and I kind of giggle to myself because I'm 7-1 into week 9. Granted, that Bengals game could easily make us 7-2. I just want to put that disclaimer here because I'm more bullish as the weeks go on about some of these.
So what does that mean? You said you're 7-1. Is that me and James 6-2?
6-2, yeah.
For both of us.
Yes.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think I am happy with that too.
Yeah.
So the next game, back home against the Commanders.
Commanders at home again. A team, if we want to be what we want to be this season, we should be winning it. Yes, the defensive line is good, but realistically, Sam Howell at quarterback. I mean, come on. Terry McLaurin is excellent, but I mean, again, is he going to be the one to beat us on his own? I don't think so. The running game is decent, but I think I just. Not for I can't. I'm probably, like I say, being a bit hypocritical earlier in the pod, sort of remembering games where we've lost to awful quarterbacks at home and thrown games away, and this could be another one. But I can't see it at this moment in time. I just can't see it. That might change a few weeks in, but at this moment in time, while we're all confident and ready for the season, I can't see us dropping to the Commanders at home. So again, like I say, with their defensive line being as good as it is, I don't think it'll be a particularly high scoring one, maybe. So I think it'll be a pretty boring, old-fashioned playing defense and getting enough scores to win the game. So I'll go with a 24-14 Seahawks win. Mitch?
I mirror your thoughts almost exactly, actually. And funnily enough, my prediction was 24-17. So very close to your score and very similar take to you on that one.
Like it?
As?
Yeah, I think we win. I think I kind of agree what you're saying. To me, that's the game we should be winning, but could turn into that game where, are we going to fuck this one up?
We make it look like hard work.
Yeah, just like when I look at that fixture, the first thing that comes to my mind is ugly stalemate. But we just do enough to creep past 21-17.
Yeah.
A bit of a moment.
Yeah, I think we're all aligned with that one. What's next?
So after that, we are at the Rams.
At the Rams again. Bit of a somewhat of is it? I'm trying to think back. Is it a happy hunting ground so far? It kind of is, I think.
I will let you know.
Recent times.
in recent times, it has been. We beat the Chargers there. We beat the Rams there. It feels like it's become a little bit of a happy hunting. No, am I wrong?
Really bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right. Well, history will not repeat itself.
When did he go into SoFi? 1 minute, let me see.
We beat the Chargers there last season, didn't we?
Yeah. So last year we had a sweep in SoFi.
Yeah.
But we haven't beat the Rams. But do you know what? Actually, I'll take it back because Russell Wilson's terrible in LA. Russell Wilson's never won in LA.
That's a good point. There you are then. I'm living in the now. I'm living in the present. Forget Russell Wilson's record against him. This is Gino's record against him, and Gino's flawless. So I say we win this pretty comfortably. 34-21. Mitch?
I think we put up 30 plus. I'm going to say we score 38 in this one. And I think we only concede maybe 17, 18. Let's call it a 38-20 win.
Okay.
Give them a little bit extra, maybe some garbage time stuff again. I think we're dominant. I think we've just got the beating of that roster this year. Where our strengths lie, where our true strengths lie, are exactly where their weaknesses fall as well. And I think if we're truly on that kind of win to loss ratio that we're all here predicting, I think that momentum plus those aligned strengths and weaknesses, I think we just run it over.
I think the Rams will be tanking by this point potentially anyway. So, Pez?
You just spoke the words I was going to say, James. Week 11, are the Rams going to be a team anymore? Stafford's going to be gone. His back's going to have blown up. Cooper Kupp would have gone, fuck this, I might leave. Aaron Donald's probably been like, I should have just retired.
Yeah.
A couple of seasons ago when we won the Super Bowl. Why the fuck did I stay here? He's probably on holiday somewhere. Then you got to think 90% of this roster is rookies. Rookies by week 11, playing nearly every single snap, are going to be fried. They are going to be burnt out, and they are just going to resort back to type no matter what coaching does for them. They don't listen to coaching. They're just getting through games on their own instincts. And I think you will then just have individuals on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Then we moved on to we're Thursday night football at home against the Niners.
Great game that. Taken a while for us to get to the Niners this season. But like I say, it's
great time to do it.
It's a great time to do it. There's going to be seeding on the line at this point, and that looks all set for a classic under the lights at Lumen. I will say I'll give us the edge because we're at home. Again, I don't know what the 49ers are going to look like at this point. This could be potentially an NFC West deciding kind of game. And is Brock Purdy going to be, as good as the end of the season? Is he a pretender or is he real? Our key players like Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, are they going to be healthy or injured by this point? We all don't know this at this point, so we've got to take it, for saying that they probably will be. We'll just say that presume that they are healthy. If they are, it's always a tough game against the 49ers. We all know that, but I'll back our boys at home to beat them in a game that might potentially decide the NFC West if we can knock them down at home. So I will say a really close but shootout. I think it's gonna be really good. I think it's gonna be really close, but I think it will be a shootout. So I will say a bit of a classic Thursday night football, 38-37 Seahawks. How about that, Mitch?
Game for the ages by the sound of it, that one. I think the home game will be a narrow win. I really hope it will be, because that run of 4 games that we start when we play the Niners it's a season-defining run of 4 games. So I'm hoping here we get a win. I think it'll be fairly tight. I'm calling us scoring 28. I think the Niners will score 26. It could come right down to the wire, that one.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
People are going to look at my predictions and go, "This fucking guy." But I don't fucking care.
We know
Is
you
Nick
don't.
Bosa going to be on this team by that point?
We don't know.
Is Sam Howell going to be seeing ghosts by this point?
Sam Howell?
Sam Darnold. No, because I don't believe in this whole fucking Purdy hype. No. You open the playbook to him because he's done enough to deserve the opportunity to open the playbook to him, like Jimmy G, like these middling quarterbacks who look really good when Shanahan puts the dog lead on them. But as soon as he goes, okay, boy, go and have a run round, picks, fear, sacks, it all unravels. And I honestly predict that's what's going to happen to Brock Purdy this season. I think there's going to be a coming down to earth with that lad. And I'm very, very bullish on our defensive line. Still see people complaining, saying, I don't think it's strong enough. I think that defensive line is going to be the best unit in our secondary. Everyone's like, the secondary is so deep. No one's going to want to throw on us. No, I think that defensive line is going to cause absolute mayhem with everyone. And that's why I think we'll win. And I think we will win not as close as you two have it. It's going to be edgy, it's going to be tight, but I think we'll win by a clear score.
Okay.
Hope you're right.
I just don't know what that score is. I can't be asked trying to even figure. I might do it after, and then when we put it up, I might, like when I put it on Twitter, I'll add them in or something. I just write this moment. We're 10-1, so my head's all over.
We're 10-1. We're winning it all. Pez, what's the next game?
Right. After we move on to another Thursday night game, 2 back-to-back. Pete loves prime time. Just remember that, guys.
Mm-hmm.
But we're at the Cowboys.
Tough. Again, this is a massive game in terms of NFC playoff seeding. Again, doesn't feel like we have a great record in Dallas in recent times. Just trying to think back. Obviously, that playoff loss in Dallas.
I will let you know.
You let me know.
Don't. That playoff loss.
Yeah. We all know what your thoughts are on that one.
In the Pete Carroll era, it is 3-2 in the head-to-head to Dallas.
3-2 in the head-to-head. So, okay, fairly close. But yeah,
all close.
Like you say.
Except for, pretty much all close games except for 2 what were done by more than a score.
Yeah, like I say, the Cowboys, they're always a weird team, but they are a good team. The talent is there on display. They can't be argued. They've got playmakers in every position group, defensive backs, obviously Micah Parsons at linebacker. The defensive front is always solid. Then you've got the receiving options with your CD Lamb and all these kind of guys. Brandon Cook's there now as well. It's a talented team. Dak is a top 10 to 12 quarterback in the NFL. He's not elite, but he's good. So it's a tough game. It's a tough environment if he's healthy. And I'll be interested to see what the running game's like this year in Dallas. Obviously no Zeke there anymore, but if Tony Pollard's fit, then we know he's legit as well. So it's a tough game. I feel like this is going to be a loss, a close loss, but I will say 27-21 Dallas. Mitch?
Yeah, I've got us losing this one as well. I don't know if I want to predict a score on this one. I don't think we lose by. I think maybe we lose by a score, maybe slightly less than. But I'll stick a number right anyway for the sake of it. Let's call it a 16-22. Actually, I'm going to call it 16. That's a bad prediction. 17-22.
Like it? Well, I don't like it, but it makes more sense than 16-22. Pez?
17-22. Yeah. Right. I've got an issue with this game. Yeah, we're in Dallas, but this game does not, like, I can see us losing it, but the reason I don't think we will lose it, but I also could see we could easily lose it, is I have zero faith in Mike McCarthy as a head coach and a play caller. He's fucking awful. Well past it, in my opinion. And the fact he's got Brian Schottenheimer. there, right? We've had that experience. What was this fucking stupid thing? We don't want to pass as much. We want to run the football and stop my defense coming on. So it's like, this fucking guy, mate. But with that being said, I think, yeah, I could see us whiffing it after, in my opinion, convincing win against the Niners. I feel like we'll have a bit of a come down on this. I think, like, even though I really want to be bullish as fuck and say we'll win that game, I've got to be realistic. I think there's got to be a come down somewhere. So I reckon Dallas away, Thursday night football. Yeah.
Tough one. Could go either way. I think there's another tough one coming next, isn't there, Pez?
A score, I think 24-21, something around that range. Yes, and then straight after that on the bounce, we move to away to the Niners.
Yeah. What a game again! Massive. Again, always classic close games at Levi, but other than the playoff loss last season, Levi, when you look back, is actually a happy hunting ground for the Seahawks in recent years. And you know what? I feel like we'll beat them. I feel like we'll sweep them this year. And I'm just confident. Like you say, I'm not confident with the quarterback situation in San Fran. I'm not confident all their superstar players are going to be healthy at this point. I've got a feeling the Niners they'll still be a playoff team, but I think we'll sweep them this year. I think we'll win the NFC West, and I think we sweep them. But it'll be close. With that being said, it will be close. It's always fairly close. I will say low scoring. I'll say 20-14 Seahawks. Mitch?
I think we lose this game. I think it's a really tough run of games. And I think this one might just be a little bit beyond us, the away game. I see us putting up some points and doing well. I think we'll score 24. I think the Niners will put up 30. I think it will be a really, really good game. But I think I don't think we win this one. I think we lose this one.
Did you have a score prediction then? Sorry, Mitch.
Yeah. What did I say? 30-24.
Yeah.
I think we said 30-24.
Yeah, I think we'll lose this game as well. I just think Gino needs to show me. Now, this kind of then makes me a bit of a hypocrite with the Bengals game. But the Bengals, the Cowboys, and the Niners away are games like they're the games where I need to see Gino being able to handle, a big stadium, a big team in their field and still be composed and controlled. And because I've not seen it yet from my memory, can't remember if he did anything last year, but I'm not going to say the Chargers because Herbert was boxed by that point. Kind of needs to show me it. So yeah, I've got us down as a loss for that.
Okay, another one that I thought you'd maybe go with me on, but okay. It's your prediction. Pez, who have we got next?
We are back at home against the Eagles.
Yeah. Wow. What
Fall into my
game.
trap. Fall into my trap, James.
Well, I can tell I wasn't going to, but now I might have to. Yeah, what a game. I mean, depending on where we are at this point, if Pez's records are right, this is probably for the number 1 seed maybe in the NFC. But classic game. What a game. But unfortunately, because on paper, yeah, it's a loss, isn't it? Really, but this might. Think about it. It feels like this might be one of those kind of special nights at home. I know it's not nighttime there, but it would be for us. One of these special home games for us that we just win in a classic game. I'm so torn. I'm not going to be able to give a score prediction for this one either way because I'm that torn. But I'm just going to have to say fuck it and say we win. Fuck it, we win. Mitch, I've fallen into his trap. Fucking hell, we lose that game. It's so obvious, but
no, don't fall into my trap. If you think are we going to win?
We win.
Are you being biased?
We're going to win.
Are you being biased or are you being honest?
I'm being. I don't know. I don't know what I'm being. Pez, just write a W down before I change my mind again.
Just going with a hunch.
Just going with a hunch.
Right. Well, my hunch is that we lose this one.
Of course we do.
Do you want to change it, James?
No, I don't.
No, I mean, I always said this went down as a loss. I think we'll make a good go of it at Lumen, but they've got an awful lot of firepower.
Crap. Mitch. Straight into it.
I mean, it's a 50-50. I'm not going to call a draw. So, yeah, we lose this one. I'm not going to predict a score on this one, but I think we lose by a score and possibly slightly more than a score.
Don't you dare leave me hanging on this one. Then this better be a win.
We win this game, and I've got pure facts to tell you why we win this game.
Of course he does.
Since Pete Carroll has been with the Seahawks, he has never lost to the Eagles. Before you turn around, any of you turn around and say, yeah, but he's not played this Eagles team, but he played the Super Bowl winning Eagles team. Were they not just as good because they won the Super Bowl? Just saying. 7 times they played, he's never lost. I'll run you through the scores just to make you feel better about yourself, James. 31-14, 24-14, 26-15, 24-10, 17-9, 17-9, 23-17.
So 17-9 is about as close as, or 21-17 was the last one.
So the last one at home was 2017, and that was 24-10.
Right, 24. So 17-9 is the closest we've ever had recently in the pit, and that's an 8-point game.
But that was away. We've always beat them by 2 scores when we play them at home.
That's what I was getting at, yeah. So, yeah, maybe he does. Maybe he has the beating of them then. I don't know.
I'm sticking with facts. Before I even fact checked it, I was adamant. We have always played the Eagles well, and we're gonna play them well again.
I love it. I love
the positivity.
That is the one I am the most out of this whole one. The Bengals. I'm like you, James. I look at it and think I should have put loss. I could easily see that being a loss. But that Eagles game, because it's at home, does not scare me one little bit. I am fucking bullish, and anyone who listens can come at me all you want. I am bullish, but when we win, you better just wait. Because if you come before we play them, I will be on your ass. But anyway, moving on. We are at the Titans.
At the Titans. This is Christmas Eve, isn't it?
This is Christmas Eve. Wasn't so good last year when we were away.
Yeah, it wasn't so good last year. A little bit of an easier task this year, with all due respect to the Titans. This is if we want to end the season strong, because like I say, the Eagles game could go either way. But looking at these next 3, our final 3, this is an important stretch of games that we need to win to sort of cement seeding if we are where we think we're going to be in terms of the playoffs. So we've got to go to Tennessee and beat them. I don't think Tennessee are going to be in for any more than wildcard contention at best at this point in the season, and probably not even going to be in contention for that. So they're probably winding up the season at this point anyway. So I think we've got to go there and beat some backups maybe in Tennessee, and if we don't, we'll potentially lose out on seeding because of it. So I think it's an important game that it's a trap game. Don't get me wrong, it has all the makings of a trap game, but I don't think we fall into it, and I think we'll beat them. I will say 27-24 Seahawks. Mitch?
Like it. Yeah, I think we've got the beating of the Titans now. I think they've kind of moved through a little period of strength for them. I think we beat them. I'm going to say we put up 24 points in this game, and I think they put up about 17. I think we win by nearly a score. Tighter game than some people, or lower scoring game than some people might predict, but I think that's what we come out with, a win.
Mr. Positive?
Well, we win that. We win it, and we win it by 34-17. Because I look at their team, and I think even though, yes, Tannehill's proven it once, that he can sustain a wide receiver one, and he can produce well himself, I think he's too old now to get it back. Malik Willis, no. Banana Man, no. DeAndre Hopkins is going to be injured by this point in the season or given up because he's a little dummy spitter and he's 31 and he's been injured the last 2 years. And I think that's a trend we're going to start seeing. Treylon Burks can't stay healthy. Kyle Phillips is not healthy. Who else have they got? And wide receiver, Derrick Henry, is he going to be fit? And then if he is fit, by this point, his body will be broken because they don't have enough assets on offense to keep him upright. Jelly knees behind him, he'll probably be injured by this point in the season. People are bullish about their defense because they've got who's the D lineman?
Simmons.
But I look at their defense and I just think, yeah, Vrabel is a really good coach, but I don't think there's any new faces there to, give it a bit of a it factor, to give it a bit of a juice. I think it's all just the same. I think they landed on their feet with a Hopkins signing and a few this to maybe make people believe that, they might be in with a shout. But no, I think by this point in the season, they're probably looking at it like, can we get that number one seed ourselves? Can we entice Caleb Williams to come out of college? So, yeah. And then we are back home after that on New Year's Eve, if I'd like to correct. My wife is going to be so happy with me when she realises New Year's Eve, I am not going to pay any attention to the evening. We are at home against the Steelers.
And I've got an awful feeling this might spoil my New Year's Eve. I think this is a trap game. I think that means we go into the final game a little bit squeaky bum in terms of seeding, needing to beat a team that we'll come on to. But yeah, I don't know, there's something about the Steelers that just something doesn't sit right with me with this game. I look at it and think that's got all the makings of a classic Seahawks falling into a trap. The Steelers defense is very good. We can't quite get things clicking, and we just lose it by a field goal, and we say, we've just lost a close game against a really good defense, and they've got enough weapons on offense to punish us if we are slightly behind, below par performance-wise. So I think we lose again, fairly close game, 21-17 Steelers. Mitch?
I think we win this. I think
let's go, Mitch.
I think we'll make it look hard work, but I do think we'll get over the line. I'm going to call this one a 31-24, but I think that will be some late scores that put this one beyond reach for the Steelers. But I think this will be a real battle.
Mr. Positive?
You're probably all right there, because the one time, if we're keeping in the Pete Carroll era, we played the Steelers at home, it was 39-30 to the Seahawks. So we are technically unbeaten at home to them. I agree with James. I looked at this game and I thought to myself, this could be a loss. Because I think the Steelers are going to surprise everyone. Look at last year. They nearly made that playoffs. And Kenny Pickett, statistically, was one of the most awful quarterbacks ever to play in the league. This preseason, he looks a lot better. They've got all their weapons healthy. Can they stay healthy? Different thing. But I still think I'm bullish about this team. I'm bullish about this season. I don't think we're in a 3-year plan. I think we're sneakily we're going to fucking show everyone we're in a here and now plan. And I think coming off the Christmas win away, I think we do get the win. I was mulling it over as I looked at it. But I think I agree with you just because of the way that team's set up. I think the styles gel. I think it'll be like a real technical boxing match, and it's put my brother on mute in every single social media device you have, and any listeners, he does have Twitter. Just if you see him, put him on mute because his heart rate and his stress levels will be through the roof in this game. And I think it'll just be a close 24-21. Very, very punchy defensively. Very, very minimal, game. So last game, moving on, we are at our favourite place to totally derail our season, if no one can figure it out yet. We're at the graveyard that is the Cardinals.
The Cardinals, State Farm Stadium. Oh, do we hate that place? But you know what? I think we leave there fairly happy, and I'll be very disappointed if we don't leave there fairly happy. I think this is a perfect opportunity against. Again, my money will be the worst team in football this season. Shout out LJ Collier, well done. I think this is the perfect chance to go into the playoffs with a bit of momentum, with a win on our backs. We beat the Cardinals. I mean, seriously, on defense, all they've got left is Buda Baker. He's just going to try and pull that defense together and put it on his back for the entire season. And he's not a big lad, so he won't be able to do it, no matter how good he is. Side note, I wish we'd have traded for Buda Baker a few years ago because we don't need him now, so we won't. But I think he'll get traded this off-season for more draft picks. So it gets. But to be fair, I still wouldn't be against it as a side note. Yeah, I mean, seriously, I mean, any man and his dog could be the quarterback for the Cardinals at this point. Any man and his dog could be, but they'll just be giving sort of jerseys out to people in the stands. You know, if you turn up to the match, because let's be honest, State Farm will practically be sort of a Seahawks home game at this point. So any person seen wearing a Cardinals top at the game will probably get a pass into the locker room to put a uniform on, because I'll guarantee you now 53 Arizona Cardinal players will not be willing to put that uniform on at this point, so we have to find someone to put it on. So if we lose to them, then fucking don't deserve anything this season. So I'm not having it. I'll be bullish about the Arizona Cardinals this year. They are shit, and we better make them look shit as well. So 40 points to 14. Mitch?
45-10 to the Cardinals.
To the Cardinals, yeah.
No chance. No chance. Yeah, it's a win for the Seahawks.
Love it.
On a side note, has anyone ever listened to Jonathan Gannon say anything and they thought that's an inspirational dude? Because he...
Not really.
Honestly, from everything I've seen and heard, it is an absolute facepalm moment every time. Like, you might as well have a cardboard cutout at team meetings. The guy is incredibly dry. And that team, if it needs anything right now, it's a guy to get some juice into them. Like you said, Buda Baker's the guy in there that's going to be barking like the barking dog in that defense. I don't know what he's going to rouse out of people on that defense. I think I think shit was generous when you called them shit.
I could have gone way worse, but you know.
I think they're awful. I think we stick at 45 on them. I think they're lucky to get 10. And we round off our season with an emphatic drubbing of the Cardinals.
Love it. Mr. Positive, surely you're not going to desert us at this point.
No, we win. We demolish them to go into the playoffs. And this season is going to be the turning point. I'm not going to give a score prediction. I'm just going to say this season is going to be the turning point on our bad luck at Arizona Stadium. And this win is going to be the win that gets us the number 1 seed in the playoffs.
I hope so. That's a great shout.
My record, really, we should have that tied up by the Eagles win. But I don't know. I just think there'll be a team that, like the Niners or some daft shit like that, because have gone 1-on-1 in the series, it'll be us and the Niners fighting it out, toe for toe, and we just need to win. Like when we got number 1 seed, when we went to Super Bowl, we just needed to beat the Rams and not fuck up. And this season's going to repeat itself. Boom.
Boom.
So
Right.
with that being said, the records, James 13-4.
I'll
Mitch,
take that all day long.
12-5. Me, 14-3.
14-3.
Me and you, James, really the only game where I can get on board with you, and I can't because I've always said 13 or 14 wins. I've been bullish from the start. Anyone on any social media, I've backed my shit. Is that Bengals game? So 13-4, 14-3. I will stick by that and die on that. And if it all goes up in flames this season, you can all come at me.
Oh, we all will. We all will. It's not like we host a podcast, Pez. We'll all be on you. There's a couple of games like Bengals, Eagles that could go either way. That could turn into a 12-win, 13, 11-win, whatever. I think we're going to be double-digit wins for certain. I think we're in that sort of 12 to 14 win region.
Realistically, I think Mitch's record's probably the realistic.
And can I just say, I would have been there with him if you hadn't have convinced me to go to the Eagles. So
no, I was adamant. I was adamant. That's why I said Mitch trap falling in. I was adamant you were going to say lost because I already knew the statistical facts that we've not lost to the Eagles since Pete Carroll's been in charge of the football team. That's all I'm saying.
But look, we're fairly in agreement. I think it's fair to say we're our heads are in the same place. We're pretty unanimous. We're pretty confident. Let's see how we do. Let's just see how we do. I think we're going to get pretty close to that. I think. Like I say at the start of the pod, if you want to get your predictions in as well, feel free to send them over to us by Discord, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and we'll be sure to go back and forth on them and bring them up at each game before the when the season's on. We'll go back and have a look at our predictions from each game, see where we at, and what we thought at the start of the season, and maybe how we're doing come the mid-season, stuff like that. We'll be sure to check back in with these predictions as we go. We may be horribly wrong, or we may be absolutely spot on, but time will tell. But for now, thank you as always to my tallying man and my prediction guru Mitch. As always, couldn't do it without you. Couldn't look stupid or absolutely genius without you. And thank you to you lot, as always, for listening, however you get us through the audio waves of our YouTube. We love yous all, and go Hawks.
Go Hawks.